Hi there, we're going to talk about Distress Glaze versus the regular embossing powders. So I'm going to do a little example here. Right now I'm just showing you stamping with the We Are Memory Keepers all-in-one tool. It's my favorite tool in our shop, so come by if you ever want a demo. It's the most fun thing to show you. There's always more cool things. So I used an anti-static pouch before I use some embossing ink, Stenciling clear embossing ink, and that picks up your embossing powders and allows you to create that raised look. It's really beautiful. Normally I like to use a black ink if I'm gonna do like a black embossing, because you can see those little specks get everywhere. But I wanted to show you the difference between the different kinds of embossing powders, how you can see through one and not the other. I decided I didn't like how the Happy Father's Day was stamped, so I restamped that and did another embossing. Just trying to show you that you can get great detail. So I'm just fussy cutting with some really great scissors we have in the shop. I really like how they're controllable. Yeah, I also have left-handed scissors and different options in our shop. I just saw this the other day to make a quick middle snip, and then you can cut into those to create a little banner edge. This is my card base, and these lawn fawn stencils that have recently come out are so cute. I really love that they have different edges on each side so you can mix and you don't get that same edge on each separate place. Because a lot of times you'll see this and you'll have that same repetitive cloud shape. This, you can turn it and you'll get an entirely new set of clouds. These brushes are super awesome and great for getting into small spaces. We've got a lot of great distress oxides in the shop, so make sure you can come by and get all of your supplies that you need for regular scrapbooking and card crafts. This was a new stencil we got in from Tim Holtz. I really love mixing different textures and the idea of the juxtaposition with the cloud and then the halftone. Just thought that was a lot of fun. Again, these brushes are really great for getting into small spaces, and I love that you can snack them and they are functional like a pen, so it's easy to hold and change out colors. If you don't have a stamp chamois, they're one of my favorite things to have next to me so that I can clean up my stamps really quickly and get them back to where they go. I'm just kidding. They're all over the place. I never put them back where they should. It's so bad. This stamp set is really cool. There's a new style of stamp sets where you can pull out little pieces and have single elements, but then you can put it back together and have a full stamp set. So I really love that you can use this as an entire stamp background, or you can take apart the little pieces and use them as single stamps. I realized after shooting that the better way to do this would be to flip the bottom over and pick up that tape and then flip it back so that I would have the card in the correct place. Jennifer McGuire tells us all about that. Here you can see I'm using the embossing ink on this background stamp, and once I do that, we're going to use the new Distress Embossing Glazes. The unique thing about the glaze is that it is a translucent effect. So you can use your embossing ink pad or a dauber or something else that also had more coverage to create a texture or pattern over top of a stamp and be able to see underneath to your designs. So you'll see here when I use my heat embossing tool, the texture and the lettering you can see, but also underneath and the stamping texture. I really just love this glaze effect and how you can see through to the stamps underneath. It creates a really unique style and ability to add so much more to your designs. Here I'm just using some foam double stick so I can pop up these elements and add a little extra fun. Anytime you can pop stuff up, it makes it a little bit more interactive on the card. So I tried some layout design, realized that I wanted to paint everything, give it some good color. I should have done that before I did the pop dots. I'm like super great at these tutorials here. This is one of my favorite ink pad sets that we have, these multicolor color box sets. Here I'm just using a little bit of water, and you can turn your ink pads into watercolors. Again, if I were smarter, I would have turned them over and done a little bit of the ink right onto my glass tablet there, and then turn those into a palette of watercolors instead of putting the water into my ink pads. It's fine, it's on the edge and it's totally okay. It's just would have been smarter. Doop boop boop, doop boop a doop a doop, just doing some painting, watercolors, doop a doop boop boop a doop boop boop. Intermission, da 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 da, doop a doo doo, boop 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 boop. Yay! Here I'm just adding some lighter colors in the middle and then darker colors on the edge to give it a little bit of depth. And a little bit of sign. So I'm just gonna paint this, and then I had to add a little bit of silver lining. It's a little decorative additive. I like to add just extra elements whenever I can. Finishes everything off. And now we're all done. I hope you enjoyed our Happy Father's Day card tutorial, and check out those distress embossing glazes. Thanks so much for spending time with us. Have a happy Father's Day.